Welcome to the latest episode of Branding the Experience. We discuss ways where we can create environments where employees actually want to come to work and customers want to keep coming back. Hi, I'm your host for Branding the Experience, Ken Bader. I'm also the author of the book, The Formula for Business Success equals B plus C plus S, a discussion on brand, culture, and strategy alignment. And strategy right now, we're in October, is a big subject right now because a lot of my clients are about to go in to a strategic planning session. I have a number of those already scheduled to facilitate those. And so the subject today is the strategic planning experience. You know, we talk about branding the experience for employees and branding the experience for our customers and members and clients, depending on who we serve. But what about creating an experience not only for the management, but also possibly our board members and other attendees that we would have at a strategic planning session? Well, I'm here to give you 3 tips. So the first, and this is what I go by, and I've facilitated a lot of strategic planning sessions for the last 15 years. But the first thing is, have an agenda. You know, it's a meeting like any other meeting. You have to have an agenda to go by, at least something cursory like this, so that we have a framework as to how our flow is going to be throughout the day. It's very difficult to go in and just wing any meeting, frankly, but especially a gathering of the minds for something as important as strategic planning. Tip number 2, don't be afraid to throw out the agenda. I was doing a facilitation of strategic planning a number of years ago, and I had a CEO that frankly was really hell-bent on following the agenda. In fact, I think we had 2 calls before. Usually I have one kind of let's get on the same page call before a strategic planning facilitation. We had at least 2 calls with this CEO where he revised the agenda a couple times and had a number of emails going back and forth, and he was really stuck on the agenda and following the agenda. And the first thing that I did was made sure the agenda was passed out and referred to it during the strategic planning session. And then in front of the CEO and in all of his management staff, I said, but you know what? We're not necessarily going to follow that. And my point is that we have to be able to have some flexibility. Much like in football, and I love football analogies. It's October, so it's football season. Is much like in football, we have a game plan going in, but sometimes things just aren't going right, and we need to throw that game plan out. Or we find out that we have an opportunity. Cornerback gets hurt, or there's an issue on their defense, and we say, you know what? We're planning on running the ball all day, but we've got a real opportunity here to go ahead and pass the ball a number of times. So, don't be afraid to throw the agenda out. And usually the way that I work it, and I work it worked it in this particular way in the facilitation that I referred to, is at the end of the strategic planning session, I went through the agenda and put it up on the board and asked everybody, did we cover this? Did we cover that? And it showed that even though we didn't follow the agenda to the letter and to a T, we made sure that we covered everything. So be flexible if you have a real issue that you're talking about, or you're having a real opportunity that didn't come up when you were planning the agenda that you do need to validly spend some more time with. Be flexible to be able to do that. And number 3, have some fun. Some of the best facilitations I've been a part of, whether it's been as a member of management, whether it's been as a facilitator or even a board member, is when whoever was running the strategic planning session, actually, had a few jokes, a few funny stories, some exercises, some things that made us have some fun and laugh. We have to have some levity. For the love of God, life is tough enough these days with all kinds of natural disasters and threats and everything else that's going on. Even Equifax, you can't even have a darn credit card anymore. Let's have a little bit of fun in business. So, and that includes, when you're done with the strategic planning session, if it's done properly, and this is why I recommend a facilitator, whether it's me or somebody else that you're bringing in from the outside, because they have the skill to keep it fun and to keep it light, but to also keep it going. But in terms of having fun, make sure, and this is again why I stress having a facilitator, is if the facilitator is good, he's going to push the attendees in the strategic planning session to go beyond their comfort zone to get to the goals and the objectives that we need to get to as a team. And if we do that, everybody deserves to have a little bit of fun afterwards, whether you're at a resort and you want to have a little networking mixer afterwards, a little happy hour, or you do have it at your own place of business to walk across the street to, even an Applebee's or TGI Fridays, and have, one drink and an appetizer just to kind of come down and have a little fun there. So, my 3 tips for you is: 1, have an agenda. 2, don't be afraid to throw that agenda away and have some flexibility. And 3, have some fun. And the bonus one, the 4th, is hire a facilitator. It'll make it so much easier for you. Obviously here at Bader Training and Consulting, I love to do strategic planning facilitation, and we have a number of other programs, even if you don't need a facilitator but need some help on the back end. So, give me a call, 714-681-2821, or email me simply at kbator, BATOR, at btcinc.net. And most importantly, thank you for spending some time with me today. And here's hoping that you're branding the experience, whether it's during your strategic planning session or throughout the year, more so the latter, at a very, very high level. Thanks again.